like to call the October 3rd, 2024 Oak Ridge Town Council meeting to order. Our first item is the invocation. We have the pleasure of Austin Goldman to give the invocation. Stand as you're able.
Let us pray. Dear God, we pray that you will be in our midst this evening as we execute the business and planning for our beloved town of Oak Ridge. We ask you to grant us wisdom and strength and the courage to make the decisions that are pleasing in your sight. Guide our actions that we may be respectful to our neighbors. God, we thank you for the love you grant us each day and help us to love our citizens and do what is best for the town of Oak Ridge. We thank you for our town officers, our committees, our firemen, and our park personnel. Father, we give you the honor and the glory. Amen.
Amen. I'd like to invite Troop 12475 up with their leader, Laura Soto, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. If you'd come up and you can stand in front of the microphone and lead us. And then after you're done, please come up and we'll take a picture.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please come up. Do you want to? Yeah, we can stay up here. Why don't you guys tuck in a little bit? All right, Chris.
Hey.
Take the picture.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Just do your job.
Editorial.
It's those news people.
He's always in the way. It's hard to smile.
Especially when you call us old.
All right, thank you again so much. Appreciate it. And you're working on a merit badge?
Yeah, we're working on our democracy badges.
Excellent. Thank you. Next order of business is the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve or amend the agenda?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the agenda with the removal of item number 9 from the agenda.
All right, there's motions been made. Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Mr. Mayor, so based on the recommendations of Councilman Schneider at last month's meeting, I asked to place this item on the agenda tonight. At the time, I didn't know that Councilman Harton wasn't going to be in attendance. When I found out, I'd hoped to speak with him before he went on vacation, but that didn't happen. So I think it's only right to give him the same opportunity as all the other town council members to be present and address this issue. So for this reason, I think it's appropriate to postpone the discussion, and I would ask that we place this on the November 7th meeting agenda.
Okay. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I should have asked this. The Arbor Day proclamation's also been removed, hasn't it?
Yes.
So-
Oh, no, it hasn't.
I guess technically we need to,
The Arbor Day proclamation.
okay, yeah, it's still in ours up here. Okay, great. Report from the County Sheriff's Office. Do we have the stats in the back?
I think we missed the minutes.
I apologize, thank you. Approval of minutes. Is there a motion to approve the September 5th, 2024 regular meeting minutes?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you for keeping me on track. I believe we have the crime statistics in the back. Okay. Do we have a report from the Oak Ridge Fire Department?
Filling in a pinch. They've been a little busy today. Assistant Chief Sam Anders, 1829 Oak Ridge Road. The fire department's been rather busy in the last month doing quite a bit of training, utilizing the tower and rescue training on things. The other thing that we've been busy with is we are rostering our UTV and some personnel to possibly be deployed to the mountains. And what that means is the departments across the county will make a list of names and equipment that is available, and the county fire marshal's office and emergency management coordinate that through the state and the emergency managers so that everybody just doesn't flood the area with everything. So you show what assets you've got and how many people you can send, and then the emergency management office coordinates people up and back. Guilford County has already had a few departments that have sent personnel and apparatus. Guilford County itself, as of this afternoon, has sent people from emergency management. Cone Hospital has deployed people, and the fire marshal's office has sent additional personnel, and it's just in the fire realm. Emergency services with medical and police functions are also deploying, but I don't have access to all of their data. But we are working with emergency management on being prepared for that. The other thing that we have coming up is Fire Prevention Week is this month. You'll be noticing signs out at the station. One of the work details this weekend made up the bags for the kids. And we've already had a young gentleman that came by, a 3-year-old came by during training on Monday night, and we all had a great good time letting him see us. We were doing some hazmat drills and things like that. So that's the time of the year it's coming up, and we would encourage anyone with any questions to come by the station. If you have children that want to come, just give them a call. If they're not out on a call, they will be more than happy to show them around the trucks. And we've got the little goodie bags with all kinds of wonderful fire prevention stuff. And of course, the ubiquitous little red fire helmets. But that's the main thing. As far as a safety message, we would ask one thing, and I noticed this and this is bad, but just as soon as the hurricane had ended, I actually thought we had a house fire in my area. Smoke was hanging down, blocking both sides of Oak Ridge Road. It was spreading around for hundreds of yards in all directions. Please, if you're going to burn brush, number one, go on the North Carolina website for Forestry Service. You can get a permit. That notifies the communications, it notifies our station. And the other thing is, if you're going to burn, please, please try to make sure that you make a nice hot fire. If you're smoldering or got wet stuff like the day after the rain, it just makes volumes of smoke and it hangs very low to the ground, and it actually can obscure vision on the roads. And you may have neighbors that have things like asthma or other respiratory ailments. So let's be considerate. When there's burn days, it's so that the atmosphere is such that the smoke goes up and dissipates. On those cold or even warm, really clammy, humid days, it can be a real danger to your neighbors and just a real irritant to a lot of folks. But we would just ask that. We know everybody's probably got some stuff to clean up. They're trying to mow and everything. One other safety tip, when we have these nice warm days after we've had a few cool days, please drink plenty of water. We've had some people that have actually got overheated working in the yard. When we had the one warm day a couple of weeks ago, we had several people in that same day all got overheated. So plenty of liquids, take it easy, and be considerate of the neighbors if you're going to burn some brush and leaves. And always, always, please get a permit.
When's barbecue season?
Barbecue season will be when we have built the new facility. We took it down for the tower, and while we have had an offer of a couple of locations, they are not suitable to cook the barbecue in the manner that we would prefer.
Okay.
Ours was not the Taj Mahal, but we don't want to cook on a dirt floor. So that we will have another barbecue. We're working on that piece of the puzzle. Even as I speak, we're working on that piece of the puzzle. And we know that people are having withdrawals and probably some delirium tremens over it when you mention the 3 letters. But please just bear with us. As soon as we can physically have a location to cook, we're going to cook a barbecue.
Thank you.
We've not had anybody breaking in the station looking for it yet, but we're pretty close.
Okay, thanks, Sam.
Thank you.
We have our first public comment section. That's a period where you're welcome to come up, spend 3 minutes, tell us your name and address, and you can speak about pretty much anything. Anyone wish to speak? John, I think, okay, if you want to defer, you're happy, but I think John just barely got his hand up a little faster.
Good evening, Council. My name is John Browning. I live at 8024 Linville Road. I come before you tonight just to read a brief note from my church, Oak Ridge Methodist Church, regarding that recent hurricane. Our message to the community is we are all heartbroken by the devastation from Hurricane Helene in the mountains of North Carolina. As we pray for those communities, we are also looking for ways we can help with their immediate needs. The Global Methodist Church has suggested we connect with and give our donations to the Baptist on Missions. 100% goes to those in need. The Oak Ridge Methodist Church will be a drop-off location for donations. The donation area will be open Monday through Thursday, 8 to 5, and of course Sunday mornings. And we have some more information on our website, oakridgemc.org. And I'd like to thank the town. They have on the town's website and the Facebook page a list of some other wonderful organizations where if people want to donate, they can find those donations, or there's areas and donate accordingly. So I do appreciate the town's effort to put that information out there. And again, the worst of times always brings out the best in people, so we appreciate everybody's ability to step up and help our neighbors to the west. And thank you.
Ben Walraven, Pepper Road, Oak Ridge, North Carolina. I'd like to bring some perspective to the idea being promoted of audio taping all town committee meetings. Specifically, I'm referring to the Special Events Committee, which I've been a volunteer on a regular basis for 6 years, before it was even called Special Events. Getting people to volunteer for a single event isn't all that hard, but getting people to volunteer to serve on a committee that meets monthly, often with ad hoc meetings in between, is a challenge. So establishing a policy like compelled audio taping will reduce the pool of possible volunteers. We know this because we surveyed volunteers who regularly make our monthly meetings. Most of the volunteers that attend the monthly meetings are against taping the SEC meeting. Each volunteer has their own reason for this, but their feelings are recording the meeting will discourage their participation. These volunteers work out the details and schedules for light up the night, plan and execute community events like the 4th of July Bike Parade, the Veterans Day observance, and the Memorial Day observance. The committee organized and implemented the planning and fundraising for Veterans Honor Green. Take away this set of volunteers and you can guess what will happen. Either the town staff picks up those duties or some of the events will disappear. In checking with surrounding communities, neither Stokesdale, Summerfield, High Point, nor Kernersville require taping of their equivalent to SEC committee meetings. The Special Events Committee follows existing guidelines, including published agendas, timely submitted minutes, proposed budget needs and monthly reconciliation of the budget, and other open meeting requirements. To me, this idea of taping meetings feels like a solution for looking for a problem that doesn't exist. I encourage town committee members to seriously consider the negative impact of taping Special Events Committee meeting and what this will do for us to get and keep volunteers. As the saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And finally, just an idea, I don't know if the town has considered making a donation to the victims of Helene, but I think that would be a proper thing to consider. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else who speak? Yes, John.
John Jenkins, 6700 Ashton Park Drive. I want to second what this gentleman just said. Most of the committees have a council member on it. Minutes are taken. Minutes are read as committee minutes during the council meeting. And I want to second this idea of a solution looking for a problem. I see no reason to do this. I will not serve on a committee that's being recorded. Thank you.
Anyone else who wishes to speak? Okay, we'll close out the first section of public comments. We'll move to the town manager's report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Extremely brief report this evening, just one item for your consideration, and that is appointment of Clay Flint as the ETJ representative to the Planning and Zoning Board, and Ty Lindsay as an alternate to the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board.
Council, if you heard the request, is there a motion to make the approval?
So moved.
Is there a second? Second. Any discussion?
I just want to say I'm just always so happy when people step up to serve the town, and I've spoken to both of these gentlemen over the phone and met them tonight, and just thrilled that they're willing to be a part of our community in this way.
And it's really nice that we have an ETJ representative again. So we really want to make sure you guys are represented. So welcome aboard. With that, is there, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Anything else?
No, nothing from me right now, thank you.
Okay.
So can I ask a question? On the park, on the Heritage Farm Park, on the athletic fields, it's possible that they may not be used until maybe early '26. We don't have the definite answer yet. Could you just fill us in on that?
Our intention is to open the fields in spring of 2025. However, as council is aware, there's a recent infestation of what we believe are armyworms on the field that have caused some damage to the turf. The contractor is still in possession of those fields at this time and has not turned them over to the town. It's actually town staff that noticed the issue. It was reported to the contractor and our construction administrator a week ago today, as soon as it was discovered. We were advised that this week they'd be taking action to treat those fields. I'm not aware whether that took place or what the results of that was. Our construction administrator actually is based out of Hickory. I know that he has not had power all week, and I have not been able to contact him. But as soon as I'm able to get an update from the contractor on whether or not they were able to address that issue this week, I will let council know what the results are.
Thank you. So, Mr. Thomas, I think they were supposed to be finished in August, I think was the contract end date, so we're 6 to 8 weeks, 6 weeks. I would assume we could have some penalties added to this project?
That would, the town's position would be based on the contract. Of course, that's a legal matter. The matter's still in performance.
Could you, can't hardly hear you.
I was saying it's a legal matter under the terms of the contract. The contract's still in performance, and I would recommend any discussion of that be in closed session.
Okay.
It's to protect the town's position, not anybody else's.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions of the town manager? All right, we'll move on to monthly finance report. Sam's up here early.
Yeah, this is unusual. I don't know that we'll break the record, but this might place in one of the top 10 shortest. Oh, me. All right, monthly financial report. Everyone should have got a copy of the financials last night, finance officer's report and a copy of the financial statements. And I did put a one-page addendum that I did not get down as item H on the finance officer's report. For the month, again, fairly normal for this time of the year. We're holding assets at $3.284 million, liabilities $70,000, and then fund balance committed to projects of $1.3 million, and about 1.9 in uncommitted. And we do have a few other restricted, including heritage grants and conservation easements. For the month, we have brought in $1,269,691.77. The biggest item is the property tax receipts that came in. So very strong performance for the month. The month of September is viewed by the month of August, which came in September, is viewed by the folks at County Property Tax as being an indicator month, and that usually you will receive 65% of the property taxes in the months of July and August. And it's because of the escrow accounts, the escrow agents are trying to pay to get the discount. So based on those numbers, it looks like collection revenue is running fairly close. The county has a little concern about sales tax revenues that they shared in a meeting I attended last month, but they're monitoring that very closely. They've had some variations in the last couple of years on sales tax, and it's things that are beyond anyone's control or ability to forecast. Basically, it depends on capital projects being performed by nonprofits and when they finish and people make claim for the sales tax. So last year, that caused about an $8 million variance in county revenues, and they're monitoring it very closely this year. But other than that, revenues initially this year are looking fairly normal and close to our estimates. Expenditures for the month were $968,128.71. So we netted, total expenses were $563.06, and we netted $966,000 from operations. Had a couple of small transfers, but overall for the month, $1,014,000 revenue. So this is all fairly normal, as I've stated. Schedule 1 has got your balances in the depository banks. We are watching these and we're working. We've got quotes in for 2 different variations on investing at Bank of Oak Ridge. We got an updated quote from Piedmont Federal, and we hope to in the next few days to be moving some of the tax revenues out of Truist into accounts where we can make a little bit better interest rate. A little bit of concern with the federal rate drop. We're seeing a little bit of a decline in earnings interest. But right now, both Piedmont Federal and Bank of Oak Ridge are working very hard to try to find us the best rate they possibly can. So I've had numerous emails with numerous options that both our contacts are working on. So we're still pushing on that. Behind that, you've got Schedule 2 with the detail of all the income, all the expenses for the month, and then your normal schedules at the back for the water fund, assets and depreciation, the debt service, and then the water fund. So, as I stated, fairly normal month for this time of the year in that we received sales tax and property tax, tap fees, water usage fees from our water system, which is the new norm. We're seeing some of that almost every month. Planning and zoning had some small fees. The franchise taxes came in, and that is the telecommunications, video program, and electric power and pipe natural gas through the state. And all those are performing in accordance with our expectations based on history. Grants, income, Bill filled out the paperwork, and we got in $441,000 of the Partif grant, which is funding the Heritage Farm Park. So that came in. We have a balance because they did it in proportion to completion and some other factors. So we'll be getting additional draws on that in the future. Special events, park rentals, other revenues, some donations to the Veterans Honor Green. We had a court settlement that came in of $7,500. That we've put that in other income so that instead of offsetting against legal fees, since these legal fees were in a past year, that way it keeps our budget to actual comparison on legal fees for the year without a variance. The $7,500 essentially does need to go into fund balance, essentially because the funds were expended in a prior year, and as normal, everything in a prior year closes out to fund balance. Done C, D, grant compliance, Bill, in fact, had paperwork today, making another grant application on the water grants. We're waiting on a couple of others, and we're almost up to the point where the grant, ARPA grants for the farmhouse project will be made. And then credit card is underway. The audit is underway. I'm anticipating the audit will be presented next month at the meeting. And then I'll circle back to A because this one's a little bit confusing. We are going to receive all of our money that we were owed for August and for September. I had a conversation earlier yesterday with the manager in the finance debt department, and they've had some issues with both software and some training issues, and they've identified some areas that need to be worked on and are doing so. Essentially, we have received all of August's money, plus 1 day of September, and then due to a report error, we received both of those amounts, plus the rest of September and all the motor vehicle taxes and everything else we were owed on motor vehicle, which was $38.50 of interest. So we're working through it now. They had to reverse the second transfer once Wells Fargo, the bank for the county, has got everything straightened out between with that and gets it back to the county. Then the county is going to reissue and send us another ACH. So probably by the 7th, we should be made whole and everything will be back on track. The folks down at Finance have asked for a little bit of tolerance with some new employees and training, and we've identified some things for them, and they're working through that. The new person that is working out of Finance used to work for Jim Rowland, who you heard me mention for many, many years. Donna Bailey, his replacement, also has been key in helping work this out as to where the variance was, what happened, and getting everything on track. So we've got 2 good people working with us on it, and I anticipate having all the funds in our possession probably around the 7th. And given the banking situation with the hurricane, probably by the 8th would be a little bit more realistic. But overall, we are whole. We know where every penny's at, and it will soon be in our coffers. The only other thing that I had is the addendum that I apologize for not having as item H. My word processing and typing skills, or rather the lack thereof, are well known by quite a few members of staff, and especially my staff. I was given the choice of taking a typing class or doing accounting, so I did accounting. So I do apologize for this being on a different page, but basically this is just a housekeeping item, as we did for the Veterans Honor Green. The Farmhouse Community Project, like the Veterans Honor Green, was initially scheduled based on engineering estimates to all be completed in 1 year. We did not get it completed in the 1 year, so this is a budget amendment to re-budget the remnant of that project out of 23-24 into 24-25. The main differential is this was being funded by $380,000 of grant monies last year. The $75,000 of SCIF money was what was expended first. Then there was around $76,000 out of fund balance expended during last calendar year. That leaves us with $496,033 in anticipated expenditures. 305 of that will be ARPA, and as I stated, we are about $12,000 as of today over that 305 limit. Bill was wanting to get to that point to time efficiently with the county, make the request, and get the draw all at one time. So that'll be coming in probably within 45 to 60 days at the most from now. We have to generate the paperwork, send it to the county, and they normally pay estimates around 30 days. So that's underway. And then the fund balance, instead of being 270, is 191,033. And I'm just asking for approval on that budget amendment as a separate item from the finance officer's report so that we can bring everything into balance and compliance.
Quick question, the $7,500, that will eventually go to the schools?
No, that was a reimbursement for legal fees. It was not a fine.
Okay.
The $2,500 received as a fine last year was remitted in the 90-10 ratio to the schools. as a separate. I did it 2 checks last year, one for that one specific penalty so that it would stick out, and then the normal one. And this last month, we also did the normal, which is any and all penalties collected by the property tax department for us is calculated. And at the end of the year, Donna ran me a report for all 12 months. We document it, provide copies to the schools along with the calculations and a check. And so that's already been done for this year as well. But that was strictly per the legal agreement and settlement, was reimbursement for the town's legal expenses incurred due to the situation.
All right, thanks for the clarification. Is there a motion? Let's get the easy one out. The motion to accept the finance officer's report? Is there a
So moved.
motion? Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And then, how can we phrase this?
As presented.
As presented?
I move that we approve the request for a budget amendment presented by the finance officer.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
All right. Thank you.
Excellent, thanks always. We now have committee reports. Parks and Rec.
Good evening again, Council. My name is John Browning, 8024 Linville Road. Here to present our activities report for our Parks and Rec Advisory Board. Our meeting was held in person and by Zoom on September 19th. I'd just like to highlight a few items. Brock informed us of a couple things going on, and we're getting close to getting that security system all up and going, and apparently all the hardware and equipment is in, and we're just tweaking and fine-tuning, those must be computer words, the system. So all the hardware's in, the hard part's done. It's just kind of tweaking and making sure the system is going to communicate the Wi-Fi with other parts. So anyway, he said soon, and he's learned not to specify what soon means, but we hope soon. So anyway, we're getting close on that. And Brock also recommended a slight increase in our fee schedule, primarily related to the baseball, softball field, the grooming of the field. He said, you know, the council has never been in the position to make money, but he just doesn't want to lose a lot of money in grooming the fields, and he's proposing to go up $45 for the game prep and $30 for practice if they drag and line off the fields, the baseball, softball. So anyway, and he also wants to eliminate the deposit, which he said, you know, contractually, whoever, you know, rents the field is contractually obligated to, you know, take care of any repairs that need to be made. And that $100 really wouldn't cover much if there is a damage. So we approved both those items, and apparently it's to come to y'all for final approval. So we did approve both of those things that Brock brought before us for that. Any questions about that while we're here? Okay, very good. Ridge Fest, again, a big shout out to the Merchants Association and the park staff here, and Randy Floss for all his organization and work, a record crowd, and just a fun weekend for everybody. So that was a real successful weekend with the Ridge Fest. So thanks to everybody involved with that. Our thermoplastic games, as Mayor Kenron mentioned, we had to close the walking path at the Heritage Farm Park for a few days, but all 8 games are in, and I welcome you to take the walking trail, and I challenge you to not be able to walk by the hopscotch and not skip or hop or jump. So anyway, those games are in that trail. Our last Music in the Park is coming up October 12th. And with the time change, it's going to be 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock. So again, our October Music in the Park is just right around the corner. I think if I've got it figured out right, that's next weekend, I believe. Not this coming, but next weekend, October 12th. Our Halloween Terror Trail, I think that's a joint venture between the town and the Youth Association, is slated for October 18th and 19th and 25th and 26th. So any questions or comments? Okay, good.
As always, appreciate it. Finance Committee, nothing yet. We'll be getting to you soon enough. Water Advisory Committee, they emailed us a report on that, if anybody has any questions. Historic Preservation.
Good evening, Debbie Schoenfeld, 8501 San Siro Farm Court. The Historic Preservation Commission met for its regularly scheduled meeting on September 18th. The HPC continued consideration of a COA to October 16 for the demolition of a contributing structure, the H.C. Garner House. It's located at 2204 Oak Ridge Road. The applicant wasn't present, but I understand he's available for October's meeting. The graphic designer has returned the Historic Oak Ridge book to the committee for reviewing and editing. It's in its first round of editing. Any changes we make will go back to the graphic designer. It appears to be about 128 pages, which is a bit more than we had anticipated, but it's packed full of great information, and we feel the finished product's going to be amazing. Any questions?
Is there any timeline when you expect it to be finished? Or out so we can sell them maybe for Christmas? Is that possible?
I don't think it's going to be possible for Christmas. I think we could certainly move,
Curious.
try to work on it, hopefully. It would be great if it was ready for Christmas.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Planning, zoning? Anyone from planning and zoning? Did they have a meeting?
We had a meeting last month, and we discussed the future thoroughfare street plan and staff has made recommendations back to the MPO. The MPO is now reviewing those and will get those back to us, and we're hoping to have that plan for council's approval by the latest at December.
Okay. Mountain to Sea? Conservation easement?
Didn't meet.
Okay. Special events?
Ben Walraven, Pepper Road, Oak Ridge, North Carolina. I'm presenting for Patty Demchowski, who had a conflict tonight. The Veterans Honor Green Phase 1 is very close to being completed. Patty Demchowski, Caroline Ruck, Ann Schneider, and Mark Reeves, the design landscaper, have reviewed what is left to be done. The second order of pavers have been received and will be installed within the next 3 weeks. We have additional pavers that have not been sent in yet until we have a minimum order which is required. The Veterans Honor Green's grand opening will be combined with our Veterans Day observance. The local Baptist band, the Scouts, and several guest speakers will be on hand. The ceremony will start at 10 a.m. on Monday, November 11th. Refreshments will be served afterwards. Thank you to the Lions Club, who will provide hot chocolate, and all are invited. Light Up the Night planning is progressing on schedule. On Monday, December 2nd, inventory and testing will be done on all the luminaries by the committee members. The actual placement of the luminaries around the park will be done on Tuesday, December 3rd. We will send out a social media blurb for volunteers to help, and we'll continue to add to the craft and food vendors and the entertainment that will be provided. Are there any questions?
Excellent job. Thanks.
Right, thanks.
Tree Committee?
Tree Committee, I'm still John Browning at 8024 Linville Road, here getting my 9th minute of fame tonight. So appreciate being here, you here with you. We had our meeting this morning, actually, of the Tree Committee. Jimmy Holt, a forester with the Forestry Service, came out and went over how to accurately measure the tree, very tall trees, their width, diameter, and height. And so it was a very productive meeting for us. There's a clinometer that we have that we used and are looking forward to using that to measure, again, large trees that we have in the town. We're in the review process of our Treasure Tree program. That's where we've got like 12 nominees for the largest and oldest trees of various varieties. And that way, if we, we can measure them and say exactly what's the biggest oak tree in Oak Ridge and also, so we're happy to be able to do that. So we're working on that treasure tree program that we have. Again, we have 12 trees. I was happy for Mr. Lindsay, Mr. Flint that filled 2 spots on our other committees, but I did want to remind everybody we do have 1 opening on our tree committee. So I hope we can get some good individuals as these gentlemen have volunteered to fill their spots. So we do have that 1 opening. It'd be a great time for somebody to join our group since we're doing the treasure trees, and we'll go around, look at the trees, and it just be a good timing this fall to do that. I know we've had it on the Facebook, I think, about our tree opening or open on tree committee. So anyway, we're looking forward to getting that spot filled. So any questions or comments?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oak Ridge Military Academy, Oak Ridge Elementary, Oak Ridge Youth Association. Okay. The second portion of public comments. Mr. Jenkins? I'm sorry.
May I just add something to the report for Oak Ridge Elementary?
Sure.
I would like to say that I am very honored to have been invited to speak on the WORE morning show tomorrow morning. I will have to be there at about 7 a.m., and I will speak for 3 to 5 minutes on the history of the school.
Excellent. Yay. Do we have a social media posting about that? Oh, okay. Mr. Jenkins.
John Jenkins, 6700 Ashton Park Drive. The concept of recording the committee meetings annoys me, and I apologize for that. But I always hated when somebody dumped a problem in my lap and didn't offer a solution for it. So you guys may have a plan for how you're going to get the committee meetings involved, but I would suggest that fairly quickly, so they'll have time, that you contact the committee chairs and ask them to poll their members on whether or not they would be in favor of or opposed to the meetings being recorded, and have them report back to the council, so you'll have some input from the committee members on your decision-making process. That would be my suggestion for a way, either that or have a public meeting so that the committee members have a chance to have some input in the decision-making.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to speak? If not, we'll move to council comments. Mr. Greason?
Yes, I would like to congratulate the Oak Ridge Military Academy on winning the Boys Class C AA 4 SC State Championship in boys basketball for the years 2023 and 2024. That's an outstanding achievement. Also, the boys basketball team is in Boone, North Carolina, helping with the cleanup. So I'd like to commend them for that. They're helping Samaritan's Purse.
Excellent.
These are amazing cadets, and they deserve recognition for their accomplishments and leadership. Also, I would like to have a honor the team sometime in November, December. We can do that.
Of course,
So-
that would be easy to do.
That's it. Proclamation.
Yep. Mr. Stone?
Yeah, 2 things. John was talking about Oak Ridge United Methodist Church and their outreach for the flood victims and damage relief. I participate with Baptist on a Mission, great organization. They're on the ground in Western North Carolina, and I'll be going up there as well. So it's an excellent organization that helps in Samaritan's Purse as well. It was mentioned during the comments tonight about the Heritage Farm Park and the issues that we're having. Would it be appropriate to ask that we schedule a closed session at our November meeting to meet with the attorney about situations on the ground? I'd like to ask to have that put on the November agenda.
Yeah, I don't see any issues. Anyone else see any issues with that? I mean, it's always nice to talk to Mr. Thomas. All right. Anything else?
That's it.
Ms. Snyder?
Thank you. Sorry, I was thinking about that last item. You know, I'm involved in the North Carolina League of Municipalities, and I've been really pleased to see how the league has gone into high gear since they have connections with over 540 towns across the state. So they're trying to assist with the devastation in yet another way, working with the towns, other associations, as well as state and federal officials and emergency response teams to try to get aid to those who need it most. Their risk management team is also gearing up to assist with all the claims that are going to result from the just horrific losses to many towns. I also just wanted to report briefly, I attended a board meeting of the League a few weeks ago in Boone. I learned a lot, actually, apropos to this issue, about how the League's insurance pools work. It's amazing. And this is helpful because of the situation we're going through, and also because Oak Ridge, like so many other towns, nearly 500, purchases several different, I think all of our insurance products from the League. We also discussed the state legislatures' ongoing interest in dissolving ETJs like ours. This council might want to consider how we can work together to thwart this kind of action. And I'd be happy to talk to my fellow council members about what I heard. Different towns have different takes on what should be done. And I think one of the things I pushed for in our advocacy efforts is that, again, we not have one-size-fits-all legislation coming forward. I also attended a listening session in Elam this week with the League, where they were gathering input from town staff and elected officials on issues that they'll then put into their advocacy goals, and that's a process that I'm actually involved in. It's wonderful to see how the Veterans Honor Green is coming together. We had a meeting there today, and Mark Reeves, as I guess Ben mentioned, is putting together a punch list. So I think that's important. I also wanted to note that there's a freedom run for Hannah's Haven, a wonderful area organization that helps women who are escaping difficult lives and drug addiction. So that run is tomorrow, October 5th. There's information on the back table. You can sign up on site tomorrow. And they're also having a pickleball tournament on November 2nd. So I just wanted to be the one to bring up pickleball tonight.
Thank you.
Do you want to?
Boy, I'd like for them to do it here.
It's not tomorrow, it's Saturday, the Hannah thing, you said it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did say the run was tomorrow. I don't know what day it is right now.
Okay, I just
So it's
wanted-
on Saturday, October 5th. Thank you. That's important. And the pickleball tournament is on Saturday, November 2nd. And that's on the back table, too. Thank you.
All set? Yeah, I visited the Honor Green last weekend, and I was very, very impressed. So I think it's going to be really, really impressive when it's all finished and things like that. So that's a great job. To talk a little bit about the hurricane, I always mention blood. One of the reasons why I'd like to emphasize a little extra this time is just consider that all the people that normally donate blood in the Asheville area are not donating right now. So there's going to be a shortage of blood. So if you're able to donate blood, please make an extra effort to donate blood. The Methodist Church has a blood drive coming up 2 Mondays from now, I believe. So there's always that. The Summit Church has one every once in a while, but you also go downtown to their the Red Cross's blood center. So if you can donate blood, you can. As far as Asheville goes and the surrounding area, one of the things I'm noticing is there's several towns that have been asking people to not show up. Too many people are going out there without coordinating it. So if you're planning on helping out there, please make sure you coordinate with an agency or a group to make sure that there's some place for you to go and you're not going to make things worse by tying traffic. I can't remember the name of the 2 towns that have specifically asked people to stay away because there's too many people there. So just try to coordinate it with an agency so that the people know you're coming and things like that. My niece actually lives in Asheville, so she's given me several updates. She's volunteering at a local shelter. She says FEMA's out there, state and federal agencies are there, National Guard is there. It takes time to ramp up all those systems, but she says they're there, they're working. and things are starting to, you know, people are starting to be able to get the things they need in the more populated areas. But they do caution the fact that there's a lot of roads that are down, so it's going to take some time. So I just encourage people to have some patience and try not to listen to social media too much about how things are going. So, and I'd be happy to continue about talking about the ETJ. So I think that would be something to definitely have maybe a work session on or something, whatever you think is most appropriate to talk about that. So, excellent. But definitely, if you're able to donate, now, as far as a donate, I don't know that, can we as a town do any kind of donation? I'm not sure that that's something that we would be allowed to do.
Well, Ken, I will just say, though, in general, we have signed on to the state's mutual aid agreement, similar to the fire department. So we would be contacted as a town if there were need for any town resources to assist in the effort. So I do want to make it clear that we are a part of that network, and we stand at the ready if we are needed.
Okay.
I think cash donations by municipality is a dicey matter. The better path is to coordinate with private and other governmental agencies to help in any way the town can with its existing staff and resources, as opposed to making an outlay of cash.
Yeah, I figured it'd be kind of tricky for us to make it a cash donation. Okay. Anything else? If not, can we get credit for the shortest meeting under the new format? Is there a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion, we adjourn?
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Thanks, everyone.